Let us not concern ourselves with the question of whether Trump and America, or indeed a sovereign nation, has any right to intervene in another sovereign nation. This is to miss the point, as important as the conversation may be. The church teaching on this is very, very straightforward. The most moral, ethical, and just system of economics is the free market. Venezuela is another test case, as was Cuba, as is China, Vietnam, and Russia, where socialism is sold to the general public that it is kinder, fairer, more nationalistic, moral, and ethical. When in reality, the results tell us, in the case of Venezuela, that Venezuela has lost 9 million of its citizens, 9 million refugees. What refugees actually look and sound like as a direct result of left-wing policies, as a direct result of left-wing tyranny. The left-wing media won't report on it because they'd have to then talk about Chavez. They'd have to talk about Maduro. They'd have to talk about the left-wing policies because people would start asking questions. The left-wing media has absolutely no interest whatsoever in talking about the food shortages, the lack of access to healthcare and medical professionals. Just a couple of symptoms there of the consequences of socialism. You're not going to hear about it. And in Britain, how many of you, like me, know Venezuelans or Colombians or Bolivians for that matter? You're not going to hear it. Now, with the rise of the independent media and with online media, of course, we know more. But this is a fantastic opportunity for us all to understand and appreciate that what is happening in Venezuela is not an isolated incident. Take the newly elected mayor of New York, Madani, for example. Take Zara Sultana in Britain, for example. Take, for example, patriots, the possibility of a red, yellow, green alliance in 2029. Now, I'll remind you in closing that Tony Blair needed 10 years, nothing, to ensure our demise, that things would play out, that would come to pass, that we would find utterly repulsive and disgusting, that we still talk about to this day. 10 years, in 3.5 years' time, the next general election, Labour will have had under Starmer another 5. They can't be allowed another, whether it's an alliance or whether it's red, it can't be allowed another 5 years. Now imagine it got it. Now imagine that happened and we arrive in 2034. And just imagine if somehow that legacy were to continue, there would, and I promise you, patriots, on everything that's holy, there would be no coming back from that. Because things get written into law, societal attitudes and beliefs change. We could become like a Venezuela, like a Cuba, like a China, like a Russia, like a Vietnam. These are all very possible eventualities, outcomes, etc. The message is simple. Don't worry about whether Trump has a right to intervene or not, or whether America does. But remind ourselves once again, the church teaching is very clear on this. The fairest, most ethical and moral form of economic governance is the free market, and that socialism kills. Freedom is not free. You have to fight for it. Ask a Venezuelan. Believe it or not, guys, we might be 5, maybe 10 years behind this monstrous, unthinkable eventuality, but it is not out of the realms of possibility that Britain could become a Venezuela.